What's cracking peeps? Darren McDuffie here, alias Fat Man, helping you become perfectly healthy and toned and conscious, of course. So I wanted to talk tonight a little bit about energy. And for a lot of people, they don't understand energy, but energy kind of permeates our world. And whether you believe in energy or not, it's affecting you. So why not learn how to use energy more, how to use energy to create a better way of living, a better way of wellness, a better way of getting the things that you deserve in life. I'm not sure why this video has some kind of red tint to it. I'm not sure. Maybe the software I'm using is not working correctly, but we'll work with it. So for many of us, seeing is believing. We're taught that whatever we see on TV, whatever we see on Facebook, we tend to believe that. So we can't see something, then we're always asking for proof. And when you're needing proof for anything, you're actually setting yourself back. So ask yourself, why do you need proof to see energy? Why do you need proof to do anything when most of us believe in something? We believe in a higher power, but no one really knows if this is true. No one really has truth that there's a God in the sky. No one really has proof that there is someone up there granting wishes and looking down on us for our well-being. So again, when you need proof for anything, it's going to set you back. So when you think in terms of energy, you're never going to be able to see energy. Some people can see energy in someone else's field. They're gifted to be able to have that type of thing, but most of us aren't gifted to where we can see someone else's energy. When we talk about energy from the standpoint of how it's going to create our health, how it's going to either create our relationships, we have to think about our thoughts, because your thoughts are energy. A lot of people don't understand that. Your thoughts are actually pre-paving what you want in the future. So by your thoughts, you're really creating your reality. They say that thoughts create your reality, and that's how thoughts create your reality. But on a deeper perspective, when you look at your thoughts will always precede emotions. Thoughts always come before emotions. I've said this before on a couple of different videos, but to understand this from a different perspective, think about something that makes you feel bad. Think about an experience that you've had in the past that made you feel bad, and see what kind of emotions come up. Now, think about something that you've had fun with, something that was really entertaining for you, something that felt good, and then think about what emotions come up when you think about that. So you can see just from that little exercise that when we think about something bad, we have bad feeling emotions. When we think about something good, we have better feeling emotions. The majority of people, 99.9% of people, are living their lives having bad thoughts every day. Thinking about something that might happen in the future, thinking about something that had happened in the past, and we're not giving ourselves much of a chance to create something better within our lives. So we're in this constant loop of, oh, this happened, and it's like this loop is playing over and over again. Have you ever seen one of those old record players where the record starts skipping and the record plays again? That's what's constantly happening with us within our lives. We're playing the bad record over and over again. Something happened in our past. Our father may have left. Something happens. We don't like our mom because something went down between our mom. Maybe she abused drugs or whatever it is that happened. We're constantly playing that old record in our heads. So therefore, it's creating the same thing. That thought pattern is creating the same energy pattern. And whatever you're emitting as energy, that is what you're going to attract. And that's why they say that bad things happen in threes, because we get on this thought pattern of something bad happened, the next bad thing happened, and then the next bad thing happened. So speaking on this from a wellness perspective of what it does with our health. I've had a lot of conversations, been privy to a lot of conversations where people said, this runs in my family. Diabetes, high blood pressure, whatever, this runs in my family. It isn't that something runs in the family. It's that when you're in a group of people, you're in a group think, which is a family. We are around our families all the time. We tend to have the same thoughts. Many of us never venture out of the thoughts that we're having when we're in the group think tank. We're in our family. We never really venture out of those thoughts. So because we're having the same thoughts about certain things, we create that same energy. And as we get older, something happens. We have a diabetes. We have high blood pressure. It's not really because of what we're eating. It's because really we're having the same thought patterns over and over again. So therefore, through our energy, we tend to attract these things. So when you start to think of something that's better, when you reach for another thought, you will see that something different has to come. Again, talking about wellness and talking about things that affect us energetically, a lot of us are out of what we would call alignment. It is as if we're walking down the street with one shoe on, one high heel shoe on, and then the other one is barefoot. So we're constantly out of alignment. Our energy is constantly out of balance. And when your energy is out of balance, the only thing that you can invite in is disease, is illness. When you get back into alignment, when you get back into harmony, when you're feeling good, most people who feel good are never going to attract any type of illness. And when they're feeling good consistently, you will not attract illness. When you're up and down, when you're feeling bad, we all know someone who's always on the opposite end of the spectrum. They're always feeling bad. They're always sick, or they're not really living up to their potential, and they're having those type of thoughts of, why am I not living up to my potential? So they are attracting things from an energetic standpoint. If you could look at someone with an illness, you would see, if there were a tool, and there are tools out there, you would see where people are out of balance energetically. If someone has a heart issue, you can see that they're out of balance energetically in the heart. If they're having a liver issue, they're out of balance energetically in the heart. When you look at something like acupuncture, if you're familiar with acupuncture, what they're doing is sticking needles into the skin to open up the energy in the meridians. And when people have this done, they start to feel better. So that tells you that there's something about energy, and many people don't understand the energy and their thoughts and their emotions. Mostly all disease, I would say nearly all disease, comes from a misalignment of your energy. It comes from these thought patterns and the emotions that we are not dealing with. And for many of us, we have been taught to put our emotions on the back burner and just move forward with things anyway. And that is very detrimental to a lot of people. So when you're wanting to understand energy, you want to understand it from the standpoint of you can use energy the way that you want to use it. You'll never be able to stop your mind from thinking. We are thinkers. That's what we are here to do. That's what we like to do. And for many of you, you think you're going to stop your thought and meditation. For a lot of times, you will have some times where you're able to focus and really stop thought in meditation. But for many of us, when we get into meditation, you have monkey mind. Everything is jumping around. The thing that you have to do is be able to train your mind into focusing. The mind is not a file cabinet. And so we think, we're taught in school to memorize things. The mind is useful for focus. And that's what you want to do with the mind. And once you start focusing your thoughts, when you start looking for something better, you'll find that you're able to focus that energy into a different place. For many of us, illness is our guru. It's telling you that you are misaligned. Your energy is misaligned. So go back to what you were thinking. If you are misaligned, if something is going on in your relationship, something going on with your job, what that's telling you is that something is misaligned and you need to get back into alignment. And the way that you get back into alignment is finding a thought, finding something that feels good to you and focusing on that. And that instantly brings you back into alignment. It fills that gap. Because what's happening when you are misaligned is you're constantly going further and further and further away from your center. And as you go further and further away from your center, things begin to happen. You start experiencing more illness. And this is why, as we get older, we don't understand why we have all these ailments, because when children come into the world, they're taught that, hey, you can be anything. You have all these possibilities. But as we get older, what's happening is things should be shrinking, so to speak. We're supposed to be getting better at knowing that we can focus our minds and we be able to use energy for us. But what happens is we become misaligned. And we become misaligned because something happened in the past, or we lost a job, or we've encountered some kind of illness. And therefore we start spreading out and spreading out and spreading out and become more and more misaligned. So you can use energy to your advantage. And the way that you use energy to your advantage is to begin to start to pay attention to what you're thinking on a daily basis. Many of us have the same thoughts about the same things, about the same people, day after day. We never do anything to change our thoughts. And therefore, our world stays the same. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Your thoughts can either create your palace of possibilities, or your thoughts can destroy them. Start thinking of new things, looking at things from a different perspective. Many of us are looking at the same things the same way over and over again, and therefore your energy stays the same. And the way that you get into changing your energy is to really start looking at your beliefs. What do I believe about the world? The quickest way that you can figure out what you believe is how your world appears to you. You know, going back to just really quickly talking about money, a lot of people believe they have to work to make money. We all know somebody that's not working that's making money. I know a ton of people that's really not doing what I would call quote unquote hard labor, that are sitting home making money. A lot of internet people are making money while they're sleeping. So that belief goes out the door. So start asking yourself what you believe. A lot of people from a wellness perspective, an illness perspective, believe that only a doctor can cure anything. So if that is your belief, that is what the world is going to present to you. Is as you open up, as you open the can of beliefs and screw the lid off the jar of your beliefs, you're going to find out that a lot of things that you think are true are really not necessarily true. We make our own truth. So again, going back to recap this whole video, energy is here. You don't have to see energy. Energy is within everything. And the way that you can start to use your energy is to use your mind for focus. Focus on good feeling things. That is the way that you move that energy forward. And that is a way for many people who are battling long-term illness or even short-term illness, who are battling fatigue. People who might be out here who haven't experienced any type of success with getting a job or having a successful relationship. The way that you're going to be able to experience that is to change your thoughts and start moving that energy in a positive direction and a positive expectation, and you'll see your world start to change. Darren McDuffie, alias Fat Man, helping you become perfectly healthy in tone and conscious, yo. I'm out. One love, y'all.